born from immigrants who opposed immigrants. I have a story to tell, not just about a man, but about a journey, a name, and a contradiction that shaped a nation. They say history is a circle. It doesn't walk straight. It turns, it bends, and sometimes it leads a child of immigrants to build walls against immigrants. Today I will take you back, not to New York where he was born, but across the ocean, to a silent village in Germany, where the story of one of the most powerful men of our time didn't begin with gold towers or campaign speeches, but with a suitcase, fear, love, and a dream carried across the Atlantic. This is not a story of politics. It is the story of where he came from, what he chose to become, and the question that silently follows him. How can a man, born from a family of immigrants, rise to power by turning against immigrants? Close your eyes. Imagine the year 1869 in a small village called Karlstadt in southwest Germany. Narrow stone houses, vineyards stretching across the hills, cold wind blowing through the quiet streets. There, a boy named Friedrich Trump was born. He wasn't rich. He had no land. His father was a local farmer. His mother cooked, prayed, and hoped the winter wouldn't take another child. At age 14, Friedrich lost his father. He knew one thing: this village could no longer hold his dreams. At age 16, he made a decision that would change history. He packed everything he owned into a small leather bag. He didn't speak English. He had no money to buy land or study. He left a note for his mother and quietly left Germany. No celebration, no grand farewell, just footsteps on a frozen road and a one-way ticket to America. Friedrich arrived in New York City at age 16. No one welcomed him. No one knew his name. He learned English by listening. He worked as a barber. He cleaned floors. He did whatever he could to survive. But he had something powerful: the hunger to rise. By his early 20s, Friedrich left New York and traveled west toward the Klondike Gold Rush in Canada. Miners were cold, hungry, and desperate, so Friedrich opened a simple wooden hotel and restaurant in Yukon Territory. It wasn't just food and shelter. It is said he also offered companionship and alcohol. People called it the Arctic Hotel by Friedrich Trump. This was where the Trump fortune began. By 1901, he became rich and returned to Germany. He married a girl from his old village, Elizabeth Christ. They wanted to settle and live peacefully, but the German government said, "You left without military service. You are no longer German." He begged to stay. They refused. So he, broken-hearted, returned to America. He wrote a letter before leaving. "Our hearts are heavy, but the country of our children must be America." In 1905, their son was born in New York. His name, Friedrich Christ Trump. He grew up during the Great Depression. tall, strict, disciplined. By age 15, he began building small houses, selling them for profit. He married a Scottish immigrant, Mary Ann MacLeod, who came to America after working as a maid. She was just 18 years old when she stepped into Ellis Island with no money, just hope. On June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York, their fourth child was born, Donald John Trump. He didn't grow up in poverty. He lived in a big house his father built. Marble floors, expensive suits, drivers, not buses. But inside that comfort, there was competition. His father believed there are two types of people, winners and losers. At 13, Donald was sent to a military academy because of his aggressive behavior. This is where he learned discipline, power, and the love for command. He studied at Fordham University, then transferred to the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Not a top student, not a book lover, but he loved one thing: real estate. And he had something no classroom could give him: his father's money. After graduation, he joined his father's business, Elizabeth Trump and Son, and turned it into the empire we now call the Trump Organization. Skyscrapers, casinos, hotels, from Queens to Manhattan to the world. He married Ivana Zelničková, a woman from Czechoslovakia, another immigrant. They had 3 children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric. Later, he married Marla Maples, then Melania Knaus, an immigrant from Slovenia. He was not just a businessman. He was a brand: gold letters, loud voice, bigger than life. And then came the idea that changed everything. Why not become president? In 2016, Donald Trump became the 45th President of the United States, and one of his strongest promises: to build a wall, to stop immigrants, to make America protect its borders. Crowds cheered, others cried, but somewhere in Germany, historians whispered, "Does he know? His family once stood on the same shore, poor, frightened, searching for a new life." According to The Guardian, a historian has discovered a royal decree issued to Friedrich Trump ordering him to leave Germany and never come back. And after a long, long time, on June 5, 2025, Friedrich Merz, the German Chancellor, gave Donald Trump a framed copy of his grandfather's birth certificate, proof that the man who stood against immigrants was the grandson of one. History smiled, not with anger, but with irony. And so the story ends where it began. A boy leaves Germany with a suitcase. His grandson becomes the most powerful man in the world. But between those two lives lies a question only history can ask. If your story began with migration, how can you deny others the right to dream?